I'd like to now introduce and turn the floor over to Henry Wall, our treasurer, to deliver the treasurer's report. Henry?
Thank you, Ani. Good morning. Bonjour. Dan, while we wait for the treasurer's report to come up, I just want to say that I think as leaders, we're all charged to, as we enter places and we leave places, that we leave them in a better place than what we found them. And I think you have done just that as president, and I just want to say miigwech for that. OMSA's 2020 financial statements should be up on your screen now. And we've also shared the report through the 2020 annual report, which was published last month and was included in the meeting invitation. When I say that we had a very good audit and a good result, I mean just that. The independent auditor's report provides an unqualified opinion of the statements and assured and verified that they met all the relevant accounting standards and represented fairly our financial position as at year end of 2020. So good job to the staff, Doug and your team. You certainly made my job very easy over the last couple of years. As the COVID-19 pandemic hit in 2020, OMSA was able to make some quick changes and took advantage of a number of federal subsidy programs that were created to support employers and nonprofits like OMSA. And it's for this reason that allowed us to strengthen our financial position as we moved really to virtual operations and as we moved to virtual engagement with members. And after moving into 2020 on a very strong financial position, I'm pleased to report that in 2020, we have achieved even greater success and greater strength. We've achieved a net surplus of assets of just over $938,000, representing an increase of just over $294,000 over the previous year. And I want to say too that, while we ended the year in a healthy surplus, that this is a bit of an anomaly due to the COVID pandemic. We were able to take advantage of federal subsidy programs, both for wages and for our rents, that helped us remain and stay financially strong. Now, we couple this too with the elimination of in-person events, which did reduce or cause some reduction of in-person meeting expenses, which are quite significant for the association. So what am I trying to say? I'm trying to say that the surplus that you're seeing for this year is not a structural surplus, as we didn't collect more revenue in membership fees than needed. If the pandemic had not occurred, OMSA would have been, as we had budgeted originally, we would have been in a break-even position, perhaps in a small deficit position compared to the previous year. But again, this was just demonstrates our ability, OMSA's ability to be agile and take advantages of opportunities as they come up. 2020 also marked the final year of our 3-year plan to invest in our member services and also rebuild our reserves. Sticking to OMSA's reserve policy, at year end, OMSA transferred funds to max out our reserves at 50% of our annual operating budget via GIC investments. We have them in 3 separate GICs with terms of 90 days, 1 year, and 2 years, now representing our entire reserve balance. With net assets of more than $938,000, to say that OMSA is in a strong financial position would be a bit of an understatement. We are strong, and we will, which is allowing us and will allow OMSA to continue to invest in its members, in its member services in the years to come, all while maintaining a prudent reserve to allow for cash fluctuations, avoid any short-term borrowings, and provide for any sort of potential liability commitments such as lease commitments and so forth. And, it's a saying that we have prepared for rainy days. The COVID-19 pandemic has also allowed OMSA and its members to work really in a virtual environment. This, does increase some pressure on OMSA to provide virtual programming, but the organization is more accessible now than ever. And moving forward, OMSA will focus on continuing to provide opportunities in virtual environments for members, continue to pay close attention to the cost, and also continuing to invest in digitization and ensure that we continue to diversify our revenue streams so that we can continue to serve all of you well into the future. With that, I just want to say thank you to the staff, to Doug for your support, and at this point, I'm happy to answer any questions that you might have.